push button.
Okay.
Hi, Ollie. We've been here before in PSG, of course, where it felt like it was an impossible challenge. Does this feel the same, or do you feel like that experience has made the players think that, well, anything is possible?
Well, of course, it's that memory from PSG will help the players, will help us as a team. That we know that we could turn things around. Of course, Barcelona is here at Nou Camp is a difficult prospect, but the memory from that night will live with the players. It's not that long ago, and we're one goal better off.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Carlos Escolán de Radio Marca, buenas tardes. Bueno, tenéis un 0-1 de la ida.
Losing 1-0 from behind, that's for Diogo. Do you know what to come back in a game is? I don't know if you're going to be more daring than at Old Trafford, or if you trust that you can turn this around as you did with PSG. Yes, of course, I think we proved that we are a team that is never going to give up. And well, after losing in the first leg, we come here to see if we can change things around and score a goal, to try to level the score and to open the game like that, and then to try to win it, which is what is in our minds at all times.
Hi, Ola. Looking at the numbers before and after the Paris game, it seems like the biggest change has been the efficiency in front of goal and in chances, in hitting the shots on target. How do you explain that, and do you see any other major changes before and after?
Of course, that's the $100 million question in football. Who can score the goals, and if you create chances, you have to take them. That's why the best strikers are the most expensive ones. We've been practicing finishing. Of course, last time we had a couple of decent chances, but when you don't work the goalkeeper, you can't score. So for us, it's about confidence, being focused and concentrated when we get a chance, because we know we'll create chances. We do have a goal threat. We carry a goal threat, but it's about taking a deep breath and taking those chances.
Ole, there's been a few controversial handball incidents in Champions League this spring, and one of them got you here by the way of the late penalty in Paris. And what's your take on the video assisted refereeing, and do you think that the handball rule should be changed, or maybe at least looked upon by the governing body?
Well, it's a discussion that will probably keep on going when it's still down to opinion. Of course, Diogo's shot is going towards goal. His hand is out. I would understand if the referee said it's not a penalty, it's a corner kick. But we also understand why he gave a penalty. So that's always going to be a discussion. VAR could, when human errors is there, so it's offside, not offside. So their goal, for example, against us, when the linesman says, when Barcelona scored against us, the linesman says offside, when you can factually say no, he's onside, I think that's correct. But when you have an opinion, like in the World Cup final, France, Croatia, I don't think that's a penalty. So it's a difficult one. Let's hope we get it right, and let's hope we don't get it to drag out too long, because the fans want something to talk about, they want something to cheer about. It was a strange 45 seconds after they scored against us at Old Trafford, waiting. But when there's facts, you can't come back with an argument. On Diogo's, or when we got a penalty against PSG, we can still argue until we get blue in the face, because 50% will say not a penalty, 50% will say yes. It's down to the referee's opinion.
Hi, Ole, here, right. Hi. Matic and Sanchez struggle with the squad. How they are now physically, they can play from the start. And do you think for Sanchez a special this? come back here to Barcelona to show again his style?
Yeah, fitness-wise, they're available, and of course, for Alexis, who's been here and played here, it's a big night, and when he's on the pitch, I'm sure he wants to prove a point. He wants to prove a point for us as well, because he's been injured. He's not had a fantastic season so far, and let's hope he can end the season great for us, because we are now in the business end of the season. We're playing games that Man United are used to playing. Of course, yeah, we're challenging for top 4 in the league, but we're still challenging for a semi-final. It used to be maybe challenging to win the league and quarter-final, semi-final. So let's hope Alexis, when he's on the pitch, that he can be happy with his performance.
Sí, hola, buena tarde, entrenador.
Hello, I would like for you to explain what will you feel when you go on the pitch of the Camp Nou in a few minutes, when you go to this goal where you scored the winning goal for Man U versus Bayern Munich. Have you been on the pitch of Camp Nou again, and what did you feel when Trebuchet scored the tie before you scored the winning game, and what are the memories you have from those 3 days you were here with Manchester United before winning the Champions League? Thank you.
And many emotions. Of course, it's a fantastic memory for me. The last time I was on the pitch, that's the only time I've been on the pitch, actually. I've been in the stands. I brought my young son watch the El Clasico in 2016, bought some tickets, and we were right in the stands, very high up. And I was here 10 days ago to watch them against Atletico Madrid. But I don't really look back on that night too often. I don't know how I'll feel. I don't think it'll be different. I'm just looking forward for tomorrow, focused on a better performance, because we know we need to play better. That's my job now.
Hello, Ollie. Just over here. The last English team, Chelsea, to eliminate Chelsea in 2012. You probably remember that performance. They only needed a draw, but very little possession. If you had to do that, could that be an approach that this particular team could?
Well, we didn't stamp our authority on the game at home. We didn't keep the ball as well as we should have. We didn't create enough chances. And you have to do that against Barcelona, because I think it's some freak results at times when you play against Barca and you have 85-15 or 80-20% possession, that they don't win, but normally they would win. So we know we have to perform better than 80-20. We need to try to stamp our authority on the game, get on the ball and play ourselves. It has to be like that, because if you give players like Suarez, Messi, Coutinho, Vidal, whoever, time on the ball, too many chances to create chances, you'll suffer. So I hope that we're not going to be just camped outside our own box.
Hi, Ollie. Is this a harder task tomorrow night, beating Barcelona, than it was finding a way to score 2 goals in injury time against Bayern Munich? Which is the
well, I was a player back then, so that was, you know, in football, anything can happen at any time, and we know that we can still be in this tie. If we keep a clean sheet, we can still be in a tie in the 93rd minute, because we can get a set piece. We are physically taller than them. We are bigger than them. It's about the quality, though. Every time we need to defend well. We know that, but going forward, we need to score. And I don't mind if it's in the 93rd minute if we get the goal, because if we get to injury time, I think we could. We are a fit team. We are getting fitter and fitter.
Ollie, just here, please. In the short term and long term, what are the biggest challenges that you face as Manchester United manager?
Well, I think short term, of course, tomorrow night, and the game tomorrow night is my only focus. I can't spend too long now to discuss what we're going to do in the future. I think that's wrong, because at the moment, the only thing I'm thinking about is to get a performance here tomorrow that will create chances enough for us to score and stop them getting enough chances for them to score, because we are now 1-0 down, we're half time, but if it's a game with many goals in it, we stand a bigger chance.
Aquí. ¿Qué tal? Muy buenas, David Bernabé de Deportes 4. Es una pregunta.
It's a question for both of you, for Diogo and for the coach, if possible. Coinciding with the first leg in Manchester, we had the chance to speak to a few Man United fans about Paul Pogba, and many of them said that they recognised they were a little bit afraid that the footballer would leave at the end of the season and sign for Real Madrid. What's your message for these fans who fear that Pogba might leave at the end of the season?
At the moment, of course, Paul's focus is on Man United and performing here and tomorrow night. He's been fantastic since I've come here, and I've no doubt that he will play for Man United and perform as he's done lately. So I don't think they should worry too much. That's okay.
And you rang a friend of yours and said, I think something special is going to happen tonight. Do you believe in fate? Do you believe that
you get what you deserve in sports? That you put your if you put your life and effort, what you deserve. And but sometimes people they've said to me, it has to be our year, because it's 20 years ago I used to play with number 20. We're back at Camp Nou, so. But to go through, we have to perform, and we have to deserve it. You can't say we're just going to rely on faith. No.
In a situation like this, how important is it to believe that you're going to win, and how do you help the players believe that they're going to win the game?
It's massive. Belief is massive in a footballer, because most of it is, everyone's got talent. Everyone's got a certain ability to play at. But we've seen ourselves against PSG that we can get back from being 2-0 down against a fantastic team. Of course, historically, Barcelona is the best the last 10 years. So we know it's going to be a massive effort. But the players have shown it before, and if we give our all and have a little bit of get that better concentration, because we slept for. I can't say 1 second, because they had the ball for quite a lot when they scored the goal. But that's what they did. They kept the ball, and then we just switched off as Busquets got half or 5 yards and played that pass for Messi. So for us, we know that belief is one thing, concentration and effort is another thing.
Hi, Ollie. Some of your best results have been away from home. Obviously, PSG, one of them, even one before you got here, Juventus. Can you put your finger on why that has been? Why the results have perhaps been better away from home?
Maybe teams are a bit more open against us. Maybe they feel they have to try to get their goals. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe because we got the first goal. You know, we scored against PSG after 2 minutes, and that's a big, massive factor in a game of football. Football games are always decided on decisions and mentality. That changed the mentality, I think, because then they started worrying that if they get another one, suddenly we're... So it'll be the same for us now tomorrow, that if we get the first goal, that's going to be so important, because then suddenly we are level, and from then on a draw would suit us. But it's also quality. Of course, we got players who've won against Juventus when he scored his free kick. It's players with quality, and sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's David at the other end saving, because Tottenham, when we beat them in the league, that was down to the keeper. So, yeah.
Oli here, Martin Einstein from ESPN. I wanted to ask you, this is a team, Barcelona, that in this season has played with different styles. Lately, they have played counter-attack in La Liga, and seeing the result that you got at Old Trafford, would you expect Barcelona not to fight for ball possession tomorrow?
You know, it's in the DNA of players always wanting to dominate and control games, and I think we are the same. So if we can control and dominate with the ball, I think we would take it. I think they would want to take it, because I can't see them giving us easy possession to counter-attack on us. We expect to come here and having to work really hard to get on the ball, and when we have it ourselves, we have to use it really well. But it's true, they have qualities to counter. Now with Dembele is fit as well. He's one of the quickest that our defenders can play against. Messi, of course, we know about his qualities, so we have to be ready for their counter-attacks when we attack, and we have to be ready to defend really well when they have good possession. It's not like either or.
Aquí, buenas tardes, good afternoon.
I'd like to ask you, you've been clear about trying to dispute possession to Barca, but you also said that you are stronger and fitter, and maybe you could get to the end of, if you get to the end of the game with options, you can have a corner kick or a crossing, and that will be good for you. Does it make you think that? Does it make me think that you are thinking about a more physical game tomorrow rather than a fast-passing game?
No. Of course, we have to use this. If you got set pieces, if you got the qualities in your team, we have to use it better than what we did last week. Of course, we put many crosses in against Barcelona last week, but Gerrard and Lenglet, they defended really well, so that might not be the case how to break through the Barcelona team. Sometimes it's counter-attack, sometimes it's quick play. We just have to be the best we can be in all the qualities. If it's technically, physically, mentally, and tactically, of course, because we are playing against a fantastic team, and we have to be realistic enough and to see that we have to perform at our best level to have a chance against players like this.
Okay, last two questions, one there and one here.
Oh, hi, here, Marcelo Beckler.
Where are we?
Here.
There you are, sorry.
No worries, Marcelo Beckler from Esporte Interativo Brazil. Do you want to sing Felipe Coutinho for next season?
He's a Barcelona player. He's a Barcelona player.
Ollie, when you came in, your go-to front three was very much Rashford, Lingard, Martial. That's been really disrupted by injury and other things in more recent times. If they're involved, how important is it that you get a big performance from the likes of Lingard and Anthony, and they get back to delivering what they were doing in the first few weeks under you?
Very important, because we need to score goals. And of course, if it's Romelu, Marcus, Jesse, Anthony, Alexis, we need big performances. Paul, we need big performances from our forward players, because, yeah, as I said, we have to defend well, but we have to have that little bit of extra to score goals against teams like this. So I expect whoever's going to start tomorrow to know that when they're on the pitch, we want to see some good form, because we have to. We weren't good enough against them at home.
Okay, last question.
A little bit about the physicality. Barcelona got to rest the whole team on Saturday. You had to play for mostly an important match. How do you see that affect the game on tomorrow? Sorry.
Well, sometimes it's beneficial to get a rest. Sometimes it's great to play a game. And for some of our players, we rested a few. I think maybe was it 5 that changed from Wednesday to Saturday, so it shouldn't be a factor. Physically, we're ready. We can deal with that, because that's just the way it is, and you have to deal with it. And I expect my players to be ready, because you mobilize. You're going to play at Nou Camp. You're going to play against a fantastic team. I know these are going to run until the cramp will take them.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Okay.
Well, the thoughts of